All right, all right, all right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. As usual, I'm your host, Mark Pierce. It is Wednesday, and you all know what we do on Wednesday. It's not just Song of the Day, is it? I mean, I don't always adhere to that every day, but definitely on Wednesdays, you know what we do. We present a band that maybe you don't know, or a band that you know, and maybe a bunch of songs that you don't know from them. We've been doing this for a while, and I'm excited for today. And you know, it's been hit or miss. People have told me that they run out and bought some CDs or started listening to a band because I presented it, and other times they're like, meh, Mark, there's a reason why we don't know who these people are. So every Wednesday, you never know what you're going to get. Today, I'm excited because I am a big fan of this band, we are going smack in the middle of the 1980s and new wave music. So, like I said, I'll go toe-to-toe with anyone with Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, love them all, Marilyn Manson, Nine Inch Nails, yep, check, but I have a huge affinity for 80s new wave music, and I know that's a very specific genre and time for people, so either you like this music or you don't. So what are you going to do? Maybe get a day off for today. Who knows? But give me a listen, all right? So today we are talking about the band The Motels. Yep, you heard me right, The Motels. You're like, Mark, I already know The Motels. I know their songs. I already know Suddenly Last Summer and Remember the Nights and Only the Lonely. I know those three songs. That's all they got, right? Wrong. No, I'm just here to say they got a lot of really good songs. Now, you have to like this type of music, like I said. But I do, and I think it's pretty exciting. So I'm a big fan. So let's get to it. This is a band that came out of Southern California. Well, actually, they're from Berkeley, California, and then they moved to LA in 75. But the earliest version of them formed in Berkeley in 1971. The name of their band was the Warfield Foxes. There's that word Foxes again. That seemed to show up a lot in the 70s as well. Then they were Angels of Mercy, and then finally when they moved to LA, they became the Motels. They had a demo, and it was turned down by Warner Brothers. And they got an offer from Capitol Records, and they turned it down because they didn't like the offer. And as a matter of fact, they ended up breaking up at that point. They reformed in 78 with some new members. Martha Davis, the singer, she's been the same throughout, but a new lineup. And they started rehearsing and started playing. Didn't have any money, so they were playing in the same space as the Go-Go's. And if you haven't seen that Go-Go's documentary yet, make sure you check it out. They started playing. They were playing in nightclubs in Chinatown, and they actually got signed to a label in 79. And who was it? Capitol Records. So there they were. They did put out their debut album, the self-titled Motels album, 4 months later, and it actually had a single on it, Total Control. I love that song. We'll talk about that. That was the second single off that. The first single did not chart. But that one went to number 20 in France and number 10 in Australia. So there you go. They put out a second album in 1980, Careful. That went to number 45. And then they put out a third album, and that's where things started to go a little haywire for them. Apocalypso was put out in November of 81, I believe. Well, they were on schedule to put it out in November of 81, but basically the label heard the record and said, nope, it's not commercial enough. It's too weird, quote unquote, too weird. So they decided to re-record the album with new members. And there was this whole thing they had a lot of changes. They would work with session musicians on the records, but tour with a different lineup, and then they had management issues and producer issues, all kinds of stuff. But they did release it in April of 82, and under the new name All For One. And guess what? That had a lot of great songs on it that you may not know. We're going to talk about them, but it did have Only the Lonely, which went to number 9, and Mission of Mercy went to number 23, and Take the L was a top 100 hit. If you don't know Take the L, that's another great song, but you might hear that on the radio from now and again. Then MTV had started in doing music videos, so they actually made a video for Only the Lonely and Take the L, and they ended up winning an AMA award, American Music Award, for Only the Lonely in 82. So that's when they started getting some popularity, right? Then 83 came along and they put out another album. It was called Little Robbers. Who remembers that? Suddenly Last Summer went to number 9. Great hit by them, right? That's a great song. The song Little Robbers, you know what? Like I said, I was raised by WPLR in the 80s, and they were playing some awesome stuff that really influenced me a lot. And they played that song, Little Robbers, a lot. And I just love this song. I just do. Who remembers Little Robbers? We're going to post it, but who remembers it from PLR those days? And they had to play it all the way through. I used to get so mad when they start talking, when they didn't get to the end where there's kind of a saxophone or something playing, and then you hear them, "Hey, Joey, where are you going with that TV? Joey!" I had to hear that part. When they cut that off, even if it was the Wigmaster on Friday afternoon when you wig out, I needed to hear that part. So anyway, they even got on Saturday Night Live in January of '84. Put out another album in '85. This is churning out records. Churning out album after album. The album was called Shock. That went to number 21, and they actually had a single on there, Icy Red. That went to 84, number 84. They had a 6th album on tap. They were actually already, I think, recording and getting ready to do it. And Martha Davis just pulled the plug on the band in '87 and dissolved them. I'm not sure why. We'll have to ask her. I know she's still out there. So, Martha, if you're out there, hit me up. Let's talk. I'm a big fan. So anyway, they put out, really, like I said, I started listening to a greatest hits probably in the early 90s. And then they put out an anthology, which really got me into them again. I have that anthology right here. And so that really just solidified me as a fan, because I went back and started listening to their music. So let's talk about their songs. We got Total Control. What a song. This is a great song. It's a slow song. You got to listen to it. But I'm sure it was awesome live too. But I absolutely love that song. That's one of my favorites. Celia, good. Anticipating, Danger. Mission of Mercy, that's a great song. I think that's the lead song off of Little Robbers. Oh no, that's Where Do We Go From Here? Mission of Mercy. Art Fails. I love the song Art Fails. So LA. So LA is so good. He Hit Me. That's another good song right there. Cries and Whispers. Careful. Like I said, Where Do We Go From Here? Love that song. Isle of You. Little Robbers, like I said. Atomic Cafe. Shame. Icy Red. And when I got that anthology, she does a pretty darn good version of Take My Breath Away. Maybe she sounds a little too much like Berlin, but I do like it. I do appreciate it. So, wow, that's a lot of material right there. I had a chance to see the Motels. I had tickets to see them at Infinity Hall some years back, and it was in August. I was super excited, and I ended up being away on vacation. I gave them to Angie, and her brother went and got to see them. And I haven't had a chance to see them yet. Never did and haven't yet. Man, I hope they come around after the end of the apocalypse. So what are we doing for song of the day? Well, you know how Wednesdays work. I kind of have to say a song of the day, but you're going to have to click on a bunch of them and say, well, Mark, here's what I think, But if I'm going to pick one of the songs out of all these lists here, of the ones that you don't know from them, it's going to have to be So LA. I just dig that song, So LA. So that's your song of the day, technically, but we're going to put a bunch. Let me know what you think. I know a bunch of you are not fans of new wave music. It's all right. We cool. There you go. Song of the day. Tomorrow we're doing something totally different. Something we haven't done. Well, actually, we've only done once in Song of the Day out of 100 and almost 70 episodes as far as a type of music. But today it's the Motels. Martha Davis, if you're out there, give me a like or something. Big fan. Have a great day, everybody. We're at 9 minutes on the Motels. Enjoy, as usual. I'll catch you on the flip side.